Okay, we're on GTA, and I think you guys know what the video is, but, what can we get for 1 million in GTA? I thought I'd do my intro next to this pedestrian, this crashing pedestrian. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, if we're going to check what we can get for 1 million, we're not going to find it on Legendary Motorsport, so let's look on Southern San Andreas. And the last 6 vehicles are over 1 million. So let's see if we can actually fill a garage, a 10-car garage, with the price of a go-kart. So while I was just sitting AFK, I was thinking of, what car I'm going to actually do first. And then, Ballers started driving past. And I was thinking, Baller, really? When the Baller ST came out and it's way better. But then again, this is free. I'm getting it off the street. So the Baller's a pretty good choice. Normally when you're just whizzing past people, they can't really tell anyway if it's a Baller or a Baller ST. So this is a great example of a first car. These cars I think cost 90k and you always see them driving around. I won't say always, I'll see at random times of the day, and it does not look cheap at all. Now adding the first car to the garage, and I think this is a great choice. We chose the Baller. It looks great. I love the crayon paint on it, and we're well on budget as well because this only costs 55,340, mainly because we got it off the street. But then yeah, you can get it off the street, it's that cheap. One of my favorite cars on this list, and again I just bumped into this one, I think the F620. You do need to keep an eye out for them, and they're very rare. I hardly ever see these drive, like somebody actually driving it around. But here's another car that I picked off the street. I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't have any mods at all, but it's still, you can get a really good color to wheel combination, and this car just looks amazing. I mean, a car at first glance that looks like you won't be able to get it off the street, it'll just be too high value, but actually you can, and for really cheap as well, only $24 more than the Baller. 55,364 is what I spent, and I didn't have to put these crazy wheels on them, and that's why the value was so high. I could have cheaped out, but I didn't. Okay, that's 2 cars now, Hella, you've just took off the street, spend some money. So I did spend some money, and I spent quite a bit of money actually. 240,000, nearly $250,000, nearly a quarter of my budget on this one car, and that's not including the mods. Luckily for me, the crew color is free, the same crew color I put on the Baller, and I just picked this car because of the pure looks. This just has a great stance, it looks really nice. It's a squatted type of car, low, wide, and just a beautiful car. I mean, I saved a lot of money from getting those last 2 cars off the street, so I thought, why not spend a bit of money? I spent 296,000, nearly 300,000. But it's worth it. We got a supercar, kind of. But I'm pretty sure if this was to be released today, it would cost over 1 million. It would actually be funny to just go back to the old cars to see what they'd be worth now with GTA's inflation. Let me know if you want to see a video on that one. And then we get to the Surfer, only spending 11,000 on this. Definitely a high unique factor. But in everything else, it's really slow. I actually love this car for that. It's obviously not designed to be fast. It's not fast, and it's slow in real life as well. And this thing, when it ever goes to any car meets, it always holds up the line. Like, I think this is the slowest car in the game, if you're not, including the bulldozer or anything. It's the actual, vehicle you can own that's the slowest. But really cool car. I mean, it comes with a free surfboard, which is pretty cool. I mean, have you ever seen anyone driving this on the road in free mode? I think there's nearly like 0% chance that this has been driven in free mode in a public session by a random person. And you could probably guess it didn't cost that much. It only cost 39,000. Yeah, it's a cheap vehicle. It's just for the unique factor. How I don't think many people have this in their garage, and it's just cool to see. Now purchasing another car off Southern San Andreas, the Rat Truck at 37,500. Now, I'm pretty sure you know where I'm going with this one because it's been in many videos before, and the unique factor of this thing is the sound. The sound is amazing. Never mind, being able to pop the front 2 tires and do that little speed glitch thing. It just sounds amazing. It's a nice cruiser. But we also have something else on this list that really sounds amazing and is also been in a lot of videos of mine. Really cool car once again, and yeah, I ended up spending quite a bit more than I thought here because I put engine upgrades on it, but at 94,940, so basically 95,000. But it's still a very cool car, one of the loudest cars in the game, one of the best sounding cars. you know, the garage is now half full. Not too bad. Everything is looking pretty diverse. I think we do need to start getting some more premium cars in here though. Now the Xeon at 60k. This was annoying because I bought the Xeon for 60k and then I saw it everywhere on the streets. Yeah, I could have got it for free. You guys can also get it for free, and obviously all these cars that are on Southern San Andreas that are under 100k, you can all get for free, I think. But the Xeon, I'm pretty sure it's still, I'm not, you know, a racer, but I'm pretty sure it's still the fastest car in coupes around track, so it's got that factor of it, which makes it great value for money. And I think that's why it's on this list. It's very underrated. You can make it look really nice, but you know, those tryhards in races do use like off-road tires. It gets a bit ugly after that, but it's still an amazing car. And a really smart looking car. It does look a bit dated from behind. It does look like a first generation car. I mean, it is. But yeah, I spent $82,808. Again, it's pretty fair, to be honest. If we're talking about the fastest car in coupes, it's a fair price to pay. Okay, let's spend some big money now. Let's buy a Comet. 100k, not crazy money, but what I'm about to do to it is unfortunately going to cost a lot. I put all the engine upgrades on this, and you know, it's got a few modifications like roll cage and bumper options and spoiler options, but I'm going to put some nice wheels on it. Full engine upgrade. Fem bend glitch, if you don't know how to do that, it's on my channel. It's a very famous glitch. Hello, you have to say it every time, but yeah, I am the founder of this one glitch, where I realized if you kick the fenders or you crash into the fenders, now it's so much more apparent. With the Calico, you can easily do it with the Calico, but with this it's quite hard. You have to kick the fenders a few times and then you can get insane speeds. When we do finally get to 100 miles an hour, it does zoom off. And yeah, again, it's the first generation Porsche, so I don't expect people to go buying this one because we've got so many better Porsches now. But if you do want to exploit this kind of little method that GTA still left in the game, they got rid of drifting, they got rid of double clutch, but they still left this. Yeah, the car costs $250k, a quarter of the budget already. I don't even understand how we're fitting all these vehicles in. And yeah, that's because I put all engine upgrades on this one. And yeah. I mean, we have a 4-door version of, you know, the Sultan Classic and the Sultan RS, you know, Classic. There's a 2-door version. But I guess this is the 4-door version of the Sultan RS. And you can still make it, you know, sometimes people have to have a second look at the car to realize that it's not the actual Benny's version. And it's free off the streets. It's great value for money. You've got loads of modifications for it. It still looks great. It just doesn't have that stance that the Sultan RS has. And for a car that you know, spend such a little money on compared to the Benny's version, it's a great car to add to the garage. I mean, I did say compared to the Benny's version, but this is just cheap anyway. This is cheap, but you know, this is like pocket change in GTA. 25,590. Such a cheap vehicle. And then when you look at all these mods and everything that's put on this car, there's no way you can think it would cost, you know, such little money. Now I have to buy 2 cars with 79k. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to buy the cars. I think we're going to leave these two to street vehicles. And what a great car, the Fugitive. I did say there was one more car that was made for the sound. And this is for cruising. So if you hate cruising, you probably shouldn't add this to your garage. But this thing sounds amazing. It's understated. People will, you know, have a second look once they realize that that car is making that sound. Of course, I did have to pick it off the street because, you know, we are on a budget now. But I definitely don't regret this vehicle. It's been in many other videos before because it is such an understated vehicle. A lot of people don't realize what it is until they start driving it, and then it becomes their favorite cruise around car for a while. Dominator. What a classic car. A very high listing car on the best sounding cars, and a high listing car on the loudest cars. Now, the combination of them two is really cool, and the fact that this is free off the streets, and that it's got that weird quirk where you half throttle the car and it's louder than full throttle is pretty cool. In my personal opinion, it is one of the best sounding cars. Wouldn't say it is the best, but that combination that you get for that, you know, the best sounding, loudest, it being free, it's still being very fast in the muscles class. I know we've got some crazy fast muscle cars now, the Buffalo STX, but this is still, you know, not the slowest muscle car. I mean, finishing this whole thing off, I spent 69,700, and yeah, this does have a few mods. I guess now that I have an indication of how much I can spend, yeah, I spent basically all my money. I was left with $500, and I think this car is really worth it. Even though you got a lot of new Dominators, it's still a very high achieving car. And I hope you guys approve of my choice. We did manage to do it. We filled all this garage with under 1 million cars. And to be honest, if we have a clear look at it, if we put all the sports cars, high-end cars together, this does not look like it's under 1 million. But yeah, it does look like an old garage because there are pretty much old generation cars in here. But it still look quite high-end. But anyway, if you did enjoy that video, please leave a like. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. See you guys later.